Hello, welcome to the video lesson or video notes for lesson 11-3. This is angle relationships and algebra. What's that really mean? This is problem solving, my favorite thing. This begins on page 15 in your notes packet. Let's take a look at the lesson targets. I can solve algebra problems, related to the angles of a triangle, which we talked about yesterday or in the previous lesson, and what that means. Also, I can solve algebra problems related to supplementary and complementary angles. Now, just so we remember angles of a triangle, remember the sum is 180 degrees. Remember, supplementary is angles that add up to 180 degrees, and complementary is angles that add up to 90 degrees. And remember, that's a big idea. Students forget that, so we're going to be repeating that over and over again, so hopefully you don't forget the difference between the two. Alright, so let's take a look at our first problem to solve. And you'll see a picture here, and let's go ahead and read the problem. Dr. Seuss designed the Cat in the Hat house roof using a triangle as shown below. What are the measures of the angles of the roof? So, as you can see, the roof is shaped like a triangle. So what we know is, since we're dealing with a triangle, the sum needs to be 180 degrees, sum of the angles. Alright, so let's set up the problem. So the first thing I'm going to do, the first step, is to just write down what I know and what I remember. What that is that the angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to label these angles because they're not labeled in the picture. So I've got A, B, and C. And I'm using capital letters here because they're actual vertexes. So I've got the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C equals 180 degrees. Alright, so step 2 is to substitute and make our equation. Substitute. And I probably spelled it wrong, but whatever. So angle A is x, angle B is x plus 20, and angle C is x plus 10. And that's going to equal 180 degrees. Now, step 3 is to solve. Alright, so I have this equation. I have some like terms. X, and x go together, plus 20 and plus 10 go together. So I have x plus x is 3x. 20 plus 10 is 30, equals 180. A simple equation, which we're practicing these in math, to solve. So subtract 30 from both sides. 3x equals, remember that zero's out, 150. Divide both sides by 3, and x equals 50. Now, I bet some of you are saying, oh, sweet, I'm all done. Solved the equation, I found x. True, you solved the equation, but no, we are not done. There's still a couple more steps. In this problem, we are asked to find the angles. So, we still need to find the angles. So remember, angle A was represented by x, and x we know equals 50 degrees. So we're good there. Angle B is represented by x plus 20. So what that means is 50 plus 20, and since I know what that is, I don't need to show that. Well, if you want to, 50 plus 20 equals 70. And then angle C, scooch this down a little bit, is represented by x plus 10. 50 plus 10 is 60. So we have our angles. Now technically we still need to do one more step, but what we have so far seems to make sense. The last step is just to do a quick check to make sure that it works. So, does 50 plus 70 plus 60 equal 180? 50 plus 70 is 120. 120 plus 60 is 180. So 180 equals 180. This checks. All right. Pretty simple stuff. Looks like the kind of math we've done before, just involving the angles. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next page. We've got 3 more problems. So now we're looking at page 16. Find x. What is the measure of the missing angles? So we've got 3 different examples here. Let me need some workspace. So in looking at the first one, I recognize right away that I'm dealing with a triangle. And so because I'm dealing with a triangle, I know that my sum needs to be 180 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this next one. This one is not a triangle this time. Now it looks like we have a right angle and 2 angles inside of it. And what that tells me is I'm dealing with complementary angles. And remember, complementary means 90 degrees. So keep that in mind when you're solving these. All right, so the first one, I'm going to go ahead again and label these. So this is A, B, C. So remember, first step, measure of angle A plus measure of angle B plus measure of angle C equals 180. And yes, as you become a master at this, you can skip the first step and go right to step 2 where you're plugging in the numbers. 77 plus 50 plus, and inside parentheses I have 7x minus 3. Now there's no numbers outside the parentheses, so I can actually get rid of the parentheses. I don't need them. If I had a number outside, I would have to do the distributive property first. Equals 180. All right. Now step 3, solve it. So I've got this term, and this term. 77 plus 50 minus 3 are all like terms. 7x doesn't have any like terms, so I'll just bring that down. And 77 plus 50 is 127, minus 3 is 124, so plus 124 equals 180. So now I subtract 124 from both sides, solving a simple equation. And we get 7x equals 56. Divide both sides by 7. Hey, look at that. Works out nice and neat. X equals 8. Now we are not done. We did not find this angle C yet. The other angles we already have, so we don't need to find them. So step 4, find your missing angle. Angle C is represented by 7x minus 3. And we need to find what that equals. Plug in 8. So 7 times 8 is 56, minus 3 is 53. So there's my answer. It seems to make sense. Now we still need to do a check, so if you don't want to write this down yet, that's fine. Step 5, does 77 plus 50 plus 53 equal 180. And 77 plus 50, 127. 127 plus 53 is 180. And it works. Everybody's happy. We found x, we found the angle, and we are good. Alright, so the next one, I think I'm going to have you finish this one on your own. I'm just going to show you how to set it up. So this time, let's label this A and let's label this B. So we've got the measure, and let me use a different color here. Measure of angle A, lowercase a, plus the measure of angle B. This time is equal to 90, not 180, because it's complementary. So step 2, substitute in. So I have 55 plus 3x plus 2 equals 90. Step 3, solve. I'm going to let you do that on your own. So you're going to find out what x equals. Scroll this up a little bit. So when you're done, you'll find out what x equals. Step 4, you're going to find what angle B is. It's represented by 3x plus 2. And then step 5, do your checks. Alright? Let's go ahead and take a look at the last example. Together we'll work this one out, because it's a fun problem and I want to do this one. The last one, this is not a triangle, it's not complementary, it's not supplementary. Hopefully you recognize that these are vertical. And because they are vertical, that means our situation is they are congruent. And what that means is the measure of their angles are equal. So if I call this A and call this B, step 1, the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle B. So step 2, substitute values in. 6 parentheses, x minus 4. Now there's a number outside the parentheses, so we need to keep it. Equals 99. Step 3, solve for x. So I'm going to distribute this 6. 6x minus 24 equals 99. Simple equation, add 24. 6x equals 123. Divide both sides by 6. Now, some of you might be saying, wait a second, I get a funny answer. You know what? It's a little different. We're not used to there being decimals, but it's okay. It works. Now, for this one, so 20.5 is not a bad decimal. For this one, we're going to do step 4 and 5 together. The check and make sure we figure out the angle. So what we know is 6 parentheses x minus 4 needs to equal 99. So if I plug in my 20.5 for x, do I get 99? 20.5 minus 4 is 16.5, and either multiply that out, write it out, or do it on a calculator, and you get 99 equals 99, and it checks. So, we are done. That's it for this video. If you have any questions or if anything was confusing, go back and rewatch it, or come and see me for help. Good luck, and we will see you in math.